Hello my dear children. Children, in the class today we'll study electric dipole. Well, what is electric dipole? Electric dipole is an arrangement where there are two equal and opposite charges kept very close to each other. Configuration of two equal and opposite charges kept very close to each other is called electric dipole. This is minus q, this is plus q charge, and the distance between them is written as 2l. This point, which is the center of the line between the two charges, is called as reference point or say origin, and we measure all distances from here. That is why we write this distance as 2l. The right side of this reference point is l, and left side distance from this reference point is also l. So this distance is 2l. We can also write it as capital L or capital D, but it is more appropriate to write it as 2l because of the reference being at the center. Well, all polar molecules in our nature are what? Electric dipoles. There are only two types of molecules, polar or non-polar. So all polar molecules are electric dipoles. This is HCl molecule. This is electropositive, this is electronegative, and separation between them is 1.4 angstrom nearly. So this is what is an electric dipole, and how close they are kept is here. You can see it is the distance between them is of the order of angstrom. Well, net charge over an electric dipole, plus q minus q. If we find out the net charge over an electric dipole, it is 0. Well, what is electric dipole moment? Children, electric dipole moment is the characteristic property of an electric dipole. Characteristic property of electric dipole characterizes an electric dipole and is always an invariant. It is a vector quantity. Its magnitude is defined as the product of either of the two charges with separation between the charges. That is P. The magnitude of electric dipole moment is Q into 2L. Since it is a vector quantity, therefore its direction is always from negative to positive charge along the line joining the charges. So value of P is Q into the separation between the charges 2L, and direction is from negative to positive charge. In vector form, we can write it as Q 2L into n cap. This is unit vector which represents the direction from left to right in this diagram. Its unit of course is coulomb meter. Coulomb for charge and for distance it is meter. Now let's work. Now children, we are going to work out the expression for electric field intensity and electric potential as various points all around an electric dipole. So first we are going to find out E and V at N1 position, and thereafter we will find out E and V at broad on position. What is N1 position? N1 position is also called as axial position. Any position on the line joining the two charges. Any position on the line joining the two charges is called N1 position. Let us assume that we have a point A. It is an arbitrary point over at N1 position, and its distance from dipole is x. So where is this distance x going to be? This x is going to be from this reference point. So this point A is at a distance x from the dipole, that is from the center of the dipole. Then what is the distance of A from positive charge? The distance of A from positive charge would be x minus L. This is R1. The distance of positive charge from A. And distance of this negative charge from A is going to be x plus L. This is x plus L, R2. So R2 is the distance of negative charge from point A, and R1 is the distance of positive charge from point A. Electric field intensity, we already know, because of positive charge at any point is away from the charge, and electric field intensity vector because of negative charge is towards negative charge. Since this positive charge is closer to point A, therefore electric field intensity because of positive charge would be greater in magnitude that is E1 is going to be greater than E2. Therefore, net field here is going to be sum of these two anti-parallel vector, and sum of two anti-parallel vector is their simple difference, that is bigger one is smaller one. Since E1 is greater than E2, therefore net field at A is going to be E1 minus E2. This is vector sum. So what is E1? E1 is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q upon R1 square, and what is R1? X minus L. What is E2? E2 is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q upon R2 square, and what is R2? R2 is X plus L. Net field, as we have understood, is E1 minus E2. Let us substitute the value of E1 and E2. Q upon 4 pi epsilon naught comes out common. In the bracket we get 1 upon X minus L whole square minus 1 upon X plus L whole square. If we solve it, what do we get in the numerator? In the numerator we get 4XL into Q, and in the denominator we get 4 pi epsilon naught X square minus L square whole square. Now we are rearranging the term in the numerator. The terms in the numerator are rearranged like this. We take 2 outside the bracket, and in the bracket we write Q into 2L, and X is written outside. So this is same as this, Q into 4XL. This is again Q into 4XL. The terms have been rearranged. This is 4 pi epsilon naught X square minus L square is written as it is. Since P is equal to Q into 2L, if we substitute the value of P here, we get EA as 2px upon 4 pi epsilon naught X square minus L square whole square. Well, in almost 100% of the cases, this X square is much more greater than L square. If X square is much more greater than L square, then we can ignore L square as compared to X square. And if we ignore X square, L square as compared to X square, well, we get 2px upon 4 pi epsilon naught X to the power 4. One power of X cancels out, we get 2p upon 4 pi epsilon naught X cube. So this is the expression of electric field intensity at any point at end-on position. Well, direction of electric field intensity. Direction of electric field intensity is from left to right, which is same as the direction of P. So electric field intensity at end-on position is in the same direction as is the direction of electric dipole moment vector of the electric dipole. Wherever may be the point, this side or this side, if the electric dipole moment is from left to right, electric field intensity would also be from left to right. So E and P vectors are parallel vectors. So if we wish, we can put vector sign here also. Well, another noticeable thing here is that electric field intensity varies inversely with cube of distance. So electric field intensity variation follows inverse Q law. So this was electric field intensity at end-on position. And if we find out electric potential at end-on position, well, that is even easier. Potential because of positive charge here would be what? Potential because of positive charge at point A would be what? Plus Q upon 4 pi epsilon naught R1. And what is R1? R1 is X plus X minus L. We substitute that here. Potential because of negative charge here would be what? Negative. Remember, potential is a scalar quantity. For negative charge, the potential here would be what? Negative. It would be minus Q upon 4 pi epsilon naught R2 square. And what is R2? R2 is X plus L. If we substitute the value of X plus L here, well, it is not a square. X plus L, we get this value as potential. Well, what is net potential here? Net potential here is simple sum. That is scalar sum of the two quantities, V1 plus V2. V1 is positive, V2 is negative. If we add the two, what do we get? Q upon 4 pi epsilon naught 1 upon X minus L minus 1 upon X plus L. If we cross multiply and solve it inside the bracket, what do we get in the numerator? 2L. And what do we get in the denominator? X square minus L square. Q into 2L is as usual P, and in the denominator is X square minus L square. And if X square is much more greater than L square, that we already know. Well, L square can be ignored or written 0. What do we get? VA as P upon 4 pi epsilon naught X square. This is the expression of electric potential at end-on position. And this electric potential, you can see, is inversely proportional to X square. That is, the variation of electric potential at end-on position follows inverse square law. Children, let us find out now electric field intensity and electric potential at broad-on position. Broad-on position is also called as equatorial position. So, equatorial position or broad-on positions are any position over perpendicular bisector. This is perpendicular bisector of the electric dipole, and any position over this broad-on side is equidistant from both the charges and is said to be equatorial position or broad-on position. Well, what is electric field intensity at any point over broad-on position? Well, let us take an arbitrary point B. So we have taken an arbitrary point B here. Electric field intensity because of this positive charge here would be away from the charge, and electric field intensity because of this negative charge would be towards that negative charge. Well, this point B is at a distance x from dipole, that is from center of the dipole, and this distance is L, this distance is L. So what is the distance of point B from Q plus Q and minus Q? The distance of point B from plus Q and minus Q are equal, and that is R each. And what is this R? This R by Pythagoras theorem is what? X square plus L square whole square. So what is this? What is electric field intensity because of positive charge here? What is electric field intensity because of negative charge here? Both these electric field vectors are E1 and E2, and both these electric field vectors are equal in magnitude. They are equal in magnitude. Why? Because the magnitude of charges are same, and the distance of the charge from the point where electric field intensity is to be found out is same, and that is R. So the magnitude of electric field intensity is what? KQ by R square. Remember, this K is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. So KQ by R square is electric field intensity E1, and it is also E2. And both the field vectors are same. They are in different directions, but their magnitudes are same. Now, what is net field at point B? Net field at point B, that is equatorial point, is going to be vector sum of these two vectors. And how do we find out vector sum? Well, for finding out vector sum, we'll have to see the directions where these field vectors lie. If this angle is taken as theta, well, if we draw a line parallel to the axis of the dipole, well, this angle is also going to be theta. This angle is theta, then this angle is, these are two parallel lines, this is line intersecting it, cutting it, therefore these two angles are theta. Well, if this angle is theta, this angle is going to be theta, isosceles triangle. If this angle is theta, this angle is also going to be theta. That means this electric field vector makes an angle theta from this axis, and this electric field vector also makes an angle theta from this axis, which is parallel to the axis of the dipole. Now, to find out the sum of these two vectors, we are going to resolve them. See, this E will have two components. One component would be in this direction, and what would be that? That would be E cos theta. The other component of E would be where? In this direction, that would be what? E sin theta. So we resolve E, and the two components of E are what? These. Likewise, we resolve this E also. This E will have a component here, E cos theta, in this direction, and the other component would be in this direction. That would be what? That would be E sin theta. You can see that E sin theta, they are equal in opposite. They cancel out. So net field along y-axis at this point would be 0. But what about net field in this direction? There are two field vectors towards left, and these two field vectors are E cos theta each. So net field at point B is going to be simple sum of these two parallel vectors. And what is that? 2E cos theta. What is E? KQ by R square. And what is cos theta? Cos theta, very important. Cos theta, find out from this triangle. Cos theta is base upon hypotenuse. Base is L and hypotenuse is R. So cos theta is L by R. As usual, Q into 2L is written together. K as it is, R square, and R becomes what? R cube. We know already that this R is what? X square plus L square and whole square. Well, Q into 2L can be written as P. So EB is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught P upon X square plus L square to the power 3 by 2. We have written R, we have substituted the value of R. And also we have substituted the value of K as 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. So 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught P, and this is x square plus L square to the power 3 by 2. As usual, if x square is much more greater than L square, you can take this L square as 0, and if you take L square as 0, what do you get? X square to the power 3 by 2 is what? X cube. And if we substitute x cube here, we get the value of electric field intensity at Brodmann position, and what is that? P upon 4 pi epsilon naught x cube. So electric field intensity even at Brodmann position follows inverse Q law. But what about direction? Net field at point B would be from right to left. This is the direction of electric field at Brodmann position. And what about this direction? This direction is just opposite of P. See P. P is from left to right, but electric field at Brodmann position is from right to left. That means electric field at Brodmann position is just opposite of the direction of the electric dipole moment vector. So E vector is anti-parallel to P vector. This is what is the direction. At end-on position, electric field vector is parallel to P, but at Brodmann position, electric field vector and electric dipole moment vector are what? Anti-parallel. Both follow inverse Q law. But one thing you can see, this is the value of electric field intensity at end-on position, this is the value of electric field intensity at Brodmann position, and if we compare the two values at a given distance at end-on and at Brodmann position, the values are like this. If we compare the two values, you can see that EA upon EB is what? 2:1. 2:1. That is electric field intensity at a given distance at end-on position is twice the value at Brodmann position. So EA is to EB, the ratio is 2:1. Well, as far as electric potential at Brodmann position is concerned, it is going to be 0. Why 0? Because whatever negative potential this negative charge is going to have at any point, same would be positive potential because of the positive charge. Each and every point over Brodmann position is at equal distance from both the charges. So positive value of potential of one charge is same as negative potential of the negative charge. So the net potential at each and every point over Brodmann side is 0. So this was all from my side today. We'll continue our study of electric dipole in the next lecture. So until we meet again, goodbye.